What's up, fuckers, and welcome back to another historic rebuild here on NBA 2K23 Next Gen. In today's video, we are going to be kicking it back to the 2002-2003 season, and today we're going to be using the Boston Celtics. So in real life this season, this team actually went 44-38, which was good enough for a 6th seed here in the Eastern Conference. Now, at this point in time, it is a complete two-man show in Boston. It is Paul Pierce. It is Antoine Walker. We are years before they made the big trades to acquire Kevin Garnett and Ray Allen, who obviously were two of the biggest pieces on that championship winning team for the 2007-2008 season, which got them banner 17. So we definitely have a lot of moves to make today because I've seen this roster and it is not very talented. So this is awesome, obviously having Pierce and Walker, but other than that, you guys will see in a second, there's not a lot of talent on this team. So I've been really enjoying these historic throwback rebuilds. And again, let me know anything else down below in the comment section in terms of historic rebuilds or rebuild challenges or what teams you want me to do for the trading every player rebuilds. Let me know all that down below. We've done a ton of these rebuilds in the Kobe and Shaq era, and because you guys have been requesting them. And then if you guys want to see other eras, let me know down below as well. And yeah, man, today we got these Celtics. Obviously, we're in the 2002-2003 season. They didn't win a chip till 2007-2008. So if we want to expedite that process, it's going to take a lot of moves. Let's get into it. So we're going to talk about this roster a little bit, and then we're definitely going to make some much-needed trades. Now, the Celtics did win 44 games this year, which isn't bad, but I think if we want to set ourselves up best for going out and maybe signing a big free agent or maybe drafting somebody, I think we want to go ahead and maybe not win the most games this year. So we're in a spot right now where, as I mentioned, kind of led by the two-headed monster of Paul Pierce and Antoine Walker, which by no means is a bad duo. I actually have an Antoine Walker jersey, funny enough. But this is not probably enough in this era to go out and combine to win a championship, especially with the way the rest of this roster is looking. So let's just get into it. We have Mike Harrison. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I have no idea who this is. I can sit here and tell you I'm a diehard Celtics fan, and I am, but I was 2 years old when this team was put together. And I'm not going to pretend I know who many of these guys are. J.R. Bremer, Shamond Williams. I feel like I've heard that name before, actually. We have Tony Delk here, going to be our starting shooting guard. We have Daquan Porter, Eugene Kelly. Again, no idea. We have the truth here, Mr. Paul Pierce, one of the greatest Celtics in NBA history. Obviously not going anywhere. He's only 25 years old, and he's obviously only going to continue to get better. Walter McCarty is here as well. He had a decent career with the Celtics, I think, like decently long. Yeah, it's been a couple years. Power forward spot, Antoine Walker, again, only 26 years old. I have no reason to move on from him. I have no idea who Glenn Washington or Brad Silas there are. We have Vin Baker, David Carr, and Rex Graham. Vin Baker is... Okay, wait a minute. Okay, so there's obviously something wrong here. He's either obviously not 20, or maybe these years didn't happen. Because if he was 20, he would not have been in the league now for 9 years, because he would have been 13 when he joined the league. Or 11. Good math. He would have been 11 years old when he joined the league. So, yeah, that's definitely not accurate. I don't know. That's 2K for you. Let's get into some trades. As I mentioned, my goal is to not be so good here in year one. So what that means is we're probably going to be trading some of the better players that would have been in this rotation. I have absolutely no moral connection to any of these guys, so I don't really care. We're going to be trading Mike Harrison, Walter McCarty over to the New Orleans Hornets, who are offering us their unprotected first this year, and Courtney Alexander. Now, the Hornets aren't necessarily a horrible team, but I don't know if they're going to be close to the top. I mean, I think we'll probably get like a late, I don't know, like maybe like early teens. You know what I'm saying? I don't think this is necessarily going to be a good team, but they're not going to be a bad team. So we are going to make this trade. A first-round pick is still a first-round pick, and that is trade one officially in the books. This will definitely not be a valuable first-round pick, but for a 70 overall, I'm definitely going to take this. We're going to be sending the San Antonio Spurs Daquan Porter and our second-round pick in this year's draft for their top 3 protected pick in 2005 and Rudd Samuel. So it's still another trade asset that we're going to probably be able to use this offseason. And along with that, this team has gotten significantly worse, and I think we set ourselves up to hopefully be pretty bad this year. As, yeah, you know, I'm hoping for big years, obviously, out of Antoine Walker and Paul Pierce, but not big enough to the point where they carry us to the playoffs or anything like that. So I might just sign, like, looking at some free agents, wherever the hell that is. Looking at some free agents and seeing maybe, wrong button, maybe some backup power forward options or something like that. I mean, just thinking about the backup that we gave out to Antoine Walker. I mean, maybe somebody like Reggie Stanley, whoever the hell you are. Seriously? Dude, you're sitting in free agency on your couch. I mean, just sign the deal. I don't want a two-way player here. And Good God. I hate how many two-way contracts are. I mean, what am I supposed to do about this? You know what? I don't even care that much. Let's set the rotation. I think it's pretty obvious, and we can all probably put together that we are not going to have a very good year one here in Boston. I think that's okay, because I think we're going to get a really good draft pick, going to get a franchise-changing talent, and then we'll go from there. It's JB Bremer, Tony Delk, Paul Pierce, Antoine Walker, and Vin Baker. The bench unit, oh God. Shamond Williams, Courtney Alexander, David Carr, Brad Silas. That is the 9-man rotation we are going with. It is not pretty. It is going to be a painful season, but it's all going to be worth it at the end. I'll see you guys at the end of year one here in Boston. I'm not going to lie, I did not see our record. I was scrolling through Twitter looking at some nice tweets from Jason Tatum's big night last night. Tim Duncan wins the MVP award. Pretty sure he actually won it in real life this year as well. Yao Ming wins Rookie of the Year. Jay Williams, 6th Man of the Year in Chicago. We have Ben Wallace winning Defensive Player of the Year. This dude is an absolute monster. And he's only 28 years old. I mean, 18 rebounds, just insane. Richard Jefferson, Most Improved. And Greg Popovich wins Coach of the Year as the San Antonio Spurs win 60 games. And we are nowhere to be seen here in the playoffs, which is exactly what we wanted. Or did we have the worst record in the league? I'm kind of hoping so. 19-63 gave us by far the worst record in the league, which means we hopefully should be on our way to a very high draft pick in this year's draft. Paul Pierce, Antoine Walker, both absolutely balled out. Again, these are our two franchise cornerstone pieces right now. We are hopeful to build around them for the remainder of this video. Antoine Walker led us in boards, and he also led us in assists as our power forward. So let's get through the playoffs. Obviously, this really doesn't impact us in any way, shape, or form. And the Toronto Raptors actually win the championship. Vince Carter gets a ring. You'll love to see it. 90 overall, Vince Carter, 26 years old. Congratulations, VC. All right, let's get into this offseason. We can look at some player retirements. I highly doubt that there's anybody on this team, especially anybody on this team of importance. Alexander Smith, no idea who you are. Hakeem, Stockton, and Pippen, all very deserving of the Hall of Fame. All right, jersey retirements, Stockton and Pippen. Wait a minute. You're telling me that they didn't retire Hakeem's number in Houston? That's interesting. All right, let's just get into the draft. We'll do historic changes first. That's actually pretty important. Anything here for the Celtics? No, there is not. I mean, their logo hasn't changed a ton. But more importantly, let's hit the draft lottery. I think I saw that Philadelphia pick that we do have is at number 12. Obviously, we are projected the number 1 overall selection. Let's see what ends up happening. And we fall to number 3, which does suck a little bit. Yeah, it definitely does. Then what other pick do we have? Oh, did that 76ers pick we had jump all the way up to number 2? There must have been some sort of protection on it. That's impressive, though. That's actually insane. Ricky Jones, I don't know who you are. I didn't think you were the Celtics head coach at this point. I thought it was somebody else. You know what? I'll make an offer for Pop. I doubt he's going to come here. But you know what? Yeah, no. It would have been cool getting Greg Popovich here. I'll take Stauffer. We definitely need a good head coach with how bad this team is. We will now head up to the draft. We do have the 3rd overall selection. So no matter what, we're obviously going to be getting, a Hall of Famer at this point in time. We're probably going to be getting one of LeBron, Melo, Bosh, Wade, whatever you want to call it. What do I want to do? Because obviously I'm in a pretty tough spot if I'm not getting Dwayne Wade, because I have my power forward and my small forward set, and obviously with LeBron, Bosh, and Anthony either being small forwards or power forwards, it puts me in a pretty tricky spot. So I actually might try to move up 1 pick, and what I might try to do with that is if I'm able to go ahead, and I'm assuming LeBron goes 1, it obviously gives me Dwayne Wade, which obviously would be a position that we kind of need. And I know I just got Dwayne Wade in a rebuild the other day. I will relax on getting him in the future. It's just strictly a positional thing at this point. So I think Dwayne Wade's going to be my guy. Let's see who has the number 2 overall pick. It's the 76ers. I actually saw that. What is it going to take to get that selection? You want my unprotected first in 2 years? You give me Todd McCullough? No, he's just making too much money for what I really need. And then you can... No, I don't. I kind of want to keep the 20th overall pick. 2006, it's not that bad, but I still don't really want to do it. Can I just overload you with 2nd round picks and you'll take this? You want to get, no, what this? Oh, that gives me Eric Snow though. That low key would be not a horrible shooting guard, or excuse me, point guard option. He's just a little too old. Would I do this? My top 3 protected pick next year. I think we'll definitely be better next year. I really do. So you know what? Let's go ahead and do that. We're going to do this. We're going to be picking up Eric Snow, who's probably going to be our starting point guard next year. We're going to be moving up to the number 2 overall selection, getting ourselves Dwayne Wade. We do give up our 1st round pick next year, but it's top 3 protecting. I think we're going to be a lot better next year. So we're going to make this trade. I think this is a trade that's going to help us a lot as a team. We're obviously going to solidify our... Oh, wow, son of a bitch. What the hell? Utah. God, oh shit, sorry. Screwing up everything. Okay, I'm not saying Chris Bosh is a bad pick by any way, shape, or form, but I don't want LeBron, and now he's just sitting here. God damn it. God damn it. I'm not trading Paul Pierce. I just refuse to do it. Like, morally, as a Celtics fan, when he's in the middle of his prime, I refuse to do it. Oh, let me think. I'll be back. This is probably going to be a horrible idea, but Paul Pierce only being listed as 6'6", which I don't know why I thought he was a little taller, is going to be moved to shooting guard. It's probably a horrible idea, but I can't pass on LeBron. I mean, he's literally just sitting there. If any other scenario, I'm taking Dwayne Wade, where, you know, a normal team would select LeBron #1 overall. Darko Milicic. Is he going to be my guy here at number 20? I don't know. I mean, I'm not really seeing anybody else here. I mean, oh, Kendrick Perkins, longtime Celtic. But you know what? Give me Darko. I don't really care. You know what? Give me Darko Milicic. Welcome to the Boston Celtics with our 20th overall selection. LeBron's an 85 overall. Darko's actually a 73. It's not terrible. He might get some backup center minutes. We do have to find a starting center, though. I'm now going to be moving Paul Pierce down to the shooting guard spot where, again, I don't really love that, but... In this world where you have LeBron, Pierce, Antoine Walker, I'm not really too worried about it. Oops, excuse me. I'm not really too worried about it. So he's going to be starting at the 2-guard spot. We obviously have LeBron starting at the 3, Antoine Walker, and then we just have newly acquired point guard Eric Snow from the 76ers. We have no qualifying offers. We enter a free agency where we hope to have a little bit of money to spend. Or we don't really have any money to spend. That's a little weird. I thought we'd have a little bit more money. Oh, yeah, we're paying Vin Baker like $13 million, and then some of these other guys that just don't... What the fuck? What are these, like, ridiculously overpaid contracts here? I'm literally just I'm clearing house. I do not need anybody here on this team that is making this much money. Thank you. I'm literally just going to clear up all this money, and I'm going to go out and sign a big-name free agent. Vin Baker, like, cool. I get it. Like, you're somewhat valuable, but I'm not paying you $13.5 million. I'm just not. You know what? This Utah Jazz pick low-key could be valuable. Yep. That could be valuable. Take Vin Baker. I don't care if he's 21. I'm not paying that much money to like a single player that's not even in the 80 overall department. I just can't do it. I'm just going to, again, continue to acquire draft picks because I don't really feel that strongly about anybody on this team. Let me just literally clear house for all these guys and I'll be back. All right, so I cleared out pretty much everybody that I wanted to clear out. Feel free to pause, take a look at all these trades that I just made. We basically just got a bunch of second-round picks for a bunch of mid-60 overall guys that I really wasn't going to be paying or playing anyway. So we have really no free agents. We don't have like Tim Duncan money, but we definitely have some cash to spend. I kind of need a center, and these centers are not very good. They're either really old or just really bad. So, who can I maybe sign away here in free agency? I'm not thinking that we're going to be getting any of the best players here, but maybe somebody who can, like, honestly, 37-year-old David Robinson? I think he's probably going to be asking for too much money. I doubt he's going to accept that. So I'm basically left without a center at this point, which is kind of unfortunate because I kind of need a center. I mean, would I trade Tony Delk? I might trade Tony Delk and just see if I could get a center. Let me work on that trade. We are going to attempt to trade for Tyson Chandler. At this point in time, he's 20 years old. He's been in the league for 2 seasons. He's only going to be getting better. I'll offer Tony Delk just because I don't really care about bench pieces as much as I do about starters. No, I did not think they're going to take that. At this point, I honestly feel like I could probably give up 5 first-round picks. I'll give up the Philly pick. They're really actually not that bad with having Allen Iverson on their team, and now they just drafted Carmelo Anthony. I feel like this pick won't be nearly as valuable. The Jazz kind of suck, though, so I'm a little bit more hesitant to give up that pick, but you can have literally every other single draft pick I own besides that Utah Jazz pick, because I really do feel like Tyson Chandler would kind of be the last piece of the puzzle here. So they agreed to that. We give up 5 draft picks, but it solidifies our starting lineup. And yeah, we have Tyson Chandler, Darko Milicic as our 2 centers. I'm going to sign a backup power forward. I'm going to sign a backup shooting guard and a backup point guard. And then that is going to be it. So let's look at some options here. Ooh, not Charles Robinson, Clifford Robinson. But you know, give me Hito. Give me Hito Turkoglu, guy who can shoot the 3-ball a little bit, come off the bench for us. JB Bremer is just, I don't know. Maybe I'll try to bring him back. I don't know, like, I'm not really interested in that too much. You know what? Oh, fine, I'll bring him back. Actually, I don't know if I'm going to have enough money for both these guys. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, give me JB Bremer. It's fine. I'll get somebody else to be the backup here. It's actually going to only bring in Walter McCarty. He's bringing Walter McCarty, and then maybe he'll come off the bench, actually, and maybe I just won't go backup power forward. I'm actually fine with that, because LeBron is a rookie. Walter McCarty doesn't need a backup. He didn't have one last year, basically. He had a 65 overall. And then give me a backup shooting guard, Steve Smith. Probably just, he's a little old. You know what? Yeah, screw it. Give me Steve Smith on this team. He'll definitely regress, but I can live with it. All right, this is a completely new-looking Celtics team. I will see you guys at the start of year 2 here in Boston. Unfortunately, it appears that Eric Snow has regressed a little bit. I mean, he wasn't 81 overall. He didn't have the best numbers, I get it. I was kind of trading for him just, based off overall. But, you know what? It's okay. I mean, look at the rest of the starting 5. It's Eric Snow. It's Paul Pierce. LeBron James, Antoine Walker, Tyson, Chandler. I mean, an unbelievable starting 5. And one that we're hopeful can maybe carry us deep in the playoffs. The bench is okay. We have JB Bremer as our backup point guard. So I believe that, with having a 77 overall starting point guard, you have a 77 overall point guard off the bench is not a bad option. We have Darko Milicic, who we drafted, Steve Smith, and Walter McCarty. Let's see what happens. I'll see you guys at the end of year 2 here in Boston. Year 2 comes to a close. Shaquille O'Neal wins the MVP award for the Los Angeles Lakers. We have LeBron winning Rookie of the Year here in Boston. That is an image I don't know if I could. I mean, just seeing LeBron in a Celtics jersey is just insane. But hell, I'm very happy I drafted the man. Andre Miller wins 6th Man of the Year. Shaq also wins Depoy. Tony Parker, Most Improved. George Karl wins the Coach of the Year. We're a one seed over here in the East, which is obviously cool to see. We 62-20, and Mike Stafford didn't get Coach of the Year. I thought we were going to be less than 57 wins when I saw George Karl wins Coach of the Year. But yeah, whatever. We have 3 guys scoring 20-plus points a game. You obviously love to see it. The bench, again, isn't that great. But you know what? I've learned the thing in these historic rebuilds that the bench really doesn't matter nearly as much as it probably does in a normal rebuild. Pistons, Chauncey Billups, John Barry, Monty Williams, Sam Harris, Ben Wallace. I mean, yeah, it's just, I don't know. 76ers, I did trade their pick. I'm kind of happy. I don't know what the fuck's wrong with me right now. I'm kind of happy I ended up trading their pick because obviously them being in the playoffs, it really doesn't matter as much. It's Iverson, Melo, Keith Van Horn, Speedy Claxton there. Let's see if we can get by the 76ers here in round 2. At this point in time, as weird as it is to say, they probably do have the best player in Allen Iverson, but it doesn't matter. We got the New Jersey Nets here in the Eastern Conference Finals with Jason Kidd, Kerry Kittles, Richard Jefferson, Kenyon Martin, Jason Collins. They are a good team. They are a team that definitely scares me a little bit. Can we get by them? Okay, we're up 3-0. Just like that, we're in the NBA Finals. You got the classic Celtics-Lakers Finals. This one's just coming a few years earlier than when the Celtics... So, I mean, obviously the Lakers won 3 straight finals. Celtics beat them in 2007, 2008. Lakers beat the Magic in 2008 to 2009. And then the Lakers beat the Celtics in 2009 2010. Sorry for the history lesson. It's the Kobe and Shaq show at this point. They obviously have the 2 best players in the series. Let's see if we can maybe sneak one by them, though, and take one away from Kobe and Shaq. I wouldn't mind doing that as a Celtics fan. We're down 3-1. All right, we're battling back a little bit. I'm only going to hop in if the game is close. Again, I'd like to go out and get this done, come back being down 3-1, but looks like Kobe and Shaq kind of have other plans. All right, you know what? All right, you know what? Fuck. God damn it. I blew it, didn't I? I totally blew it. Lakers go on to win the finals. Shaq wins finals MVP. All right, you know what, though? That was a rookie LeBron. That was a team that we kind of just put together in 1 year. I'm very comfortable. Let me just make sure we have no player retirements here. I'm very comfortable saying that we're probably a move or 2 away from getting ourselves back into the finals and hopefully winning it this time. So draft lottery time. We do have that Utah Jazz pick. Looks like it's somewhat late in the lottery. Not late, but it's number 9 projected. Maybe we can move up a little bit. No, we sit right there at number 9. Who are the point guards in this class? Who are the point guards? I know it's like Dwight Howard. Yeah, not a great point guard class. I mean, you got Devin Harris here, Norm Teague. This isn't really a strong point guard class, so yeah. I don't know if I'm going to be drafting somebody at that spot. I mean, maybe they could be a beneficial piece off the bench, but I maybe also could make a bigger trade. Let's see what we can find. I don't know if we're going to have the assets for this, but for some reason, the Sacramento Kings value J.R. Bremer higher than they do value Eric Snow, so I obviously want to keep one of them. So J.R. Bremer, who is only 23 years old. Honestly, maybe could have just been my starting point guard, but if I can get a guy like Mike Bibby, I would definitely go ahead and make that trade. So you can have the 9th overall selection if you really want it, and that's all it takes. Mike Bibby is officially a Boston Celtic. That fully solidifies our point guard spot and the rest of our starting lineup. Do we have any other draft picks this year? We probably have our own. Actually, no, we don't. No, we just have 2 seconds, which I really just don't need. So anybody want to give me 2 future seconds? Thank you very much, New Orleans Hornets. And yeah, I mean, the rest of the moves at this point are probably going to be relatively small, maybe trying to solidify that bench a little bit more, get somebody a little bit younger. Kevin Garnett obviously comes to the Celtics in a few years in real life, but not so much right now. So we definitely need to work on the bench a little bit. I think we're fine without LeBron having a backup, so let's get a backup shooting guard and a backup power forward. Tony Kukoc, a little bit older, but how hard will he regress? You know what? Bring me Tony. He's an 80 overall right now. He'll definitely go down an overall or 2. But you know what? I like the idea of having an experienced veteran on this somewhat young team. And then the backup shooting guard spot, oh god, I mean, these offers are just terrible. Let me sign Charlie Ward, and then I'm going to trade Charlie Ward in hopes of finding myself a different shooting guard on this team. Charlie Ward and 2 first-round picks. The last 2 first-round picks I have left. Shooting guard, please, somebody. Oh, man. Dion Glover. I'm not really sure who you are, but you appear to be my best option. Fred Jones. Not a terrible option as well. I see Nick Collison here, who could be a fun piece. But, you know what? Let me take Dion Glover. Welcome to the team. We are all set. I will see you guys at the start of the 3rd and final season. We made some pretty big moves this offseason, both solidifying the starting point guard role and really helping bolster the bench. I think this is hopefully going to be enough to put us back into the NBA Finals. Here's how it's going to look. It's Mike Bibby, Paul Pierce, LeBron James, Antoine Walker, and Tyson Chandler. An unbelievably talented starting 5. I mean, you got 5 All-Stars in there. Bench unit, Tony Kukoc did regress a little bit. I'm fine with it. He's going to come off the bench. He's going to play 22 minutes a night. Good experienced veteran. You got Dion Glover, Eric Snow, and then Darko Milicic. Let's see what happens. I'll see you guys at the end of the 3rd and final season. We end our 3rd and final regular season going 69-13, and we have our 3rd different MVP of the video, which is pretty cool. You know, I give 2K some historic credit anyways, mixing up the MVPs versus now it's just literally Luka every year. But T-Mac winning MVP, congratulations, hell of a season. Dwight Howard wins Rookie of the Year, I'm assuming he went number 1. He did to the New Orleans Hornets, him and Chris Paul. Marcus Fizer winning 6th Man of the Year. Yeah, I'm not going to pretend I know who this is. I'm not even going to pretend. I don't. Yao Ming wins Defensive Player of the Year. Herbert Todd, Most Improved. Mike Stauffer, as I mentioned, 69-13. Definitely good enough for Coach of the Year. And hopefully good enough for a championship. Spurs had a 63-win season, though, so by no means are we running away to a championship without any pressure. LeBron, Paul Pierce, Antoine Walker, Mike Bibby, Tyson Chandler. I mean, unbelievably talented starting 5. And the bench actually performed pretty well for themselves. All right, let's get into the playoffs. We got the New Jersey Nets here in round 1, who I believe this was our Eastern Conference Finals matchup last year. Looks like they got a little bit worse with, between regression and losing some pieces. Let's see if we can get by them here in the first round. We do with ease. We sweep them. Moving on, the Milwaukee Bucks. Sam Cassell, Ray Allen. Can't fucking speak. A few years before he ended up coming to Boston, they have a pretty talented starting 5. Albeit, maybe they don't have that superstar like we do at this point, but they still are a pretty talented and appear to be a pretty deep team as well. We're up 3-1 against them right now. 3-2. Don't do this to me. Thank God. Orlando here, Eastern Conference Finals. MVP Tracy McGrady, and yeah, I mean, T-Mac definitely scares me, but I just don't really think they have the power to... Okay, come on. Are we serious right now? Come on. Don't do this to me. We come back from being down 3-1, and we got the San Antonio Spurs, who by far are going to be our biggest test. Holy fuck. I mean, Tony Parker, Bruce Bowen, Mike I mean, Jesus Christ. All right, well, I mean, that's shit. That's just not really fair, is it? That's not fair. Tim Duncan, Finals MVP. I mean, that team is just ridiculous. All right, well, we built a pretty talented squad. There's not much more I can do in terms of flexibility with this roster, but you know what? I still enjoyed the shit out of this rebuild, and obviously we built a really good team. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, leave a like down below. That'd obviously be awesome. As always, if you guys are new around here, please subscribe to the channel. We're on the road to 40K. I'm trying to get there soon. As always, I do appreciate y'all. Let me know any other video ideas down below. Thanks so much for watching. I love you guys. I'll catch you guys all in the next one.